And good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Monica Garcia. Sean Mooney has the day off, and it has been 1 week since Title 42 was lifted. And now we are seeing a decrease in the number of encounters between migrants and customs at the U.S.-Mexico border by about 70%. Even though those numbers might be going down, we are still seeing migrant shelters here in Tucson at max capacity. This as the city of Tucson and the Pima County held a news conference today. News 4 Tucson's Gabrielle Parrish. You attended that meeting. You joined us live from downtown with more on what was discussed. Gabrielle, who was a member of the Tohono O'odham community, made a phone call to Border Patrol agents asking for help after spotting migrants on his property. Needs world leaders at the G7 summit to work on global economies. His focus is also back here at home with the debt ceiling negotiations. So the White House appears optimistic. They say they can find common ground with Republicans to avoid a default. But before the president returns to the U.S. on Sunday, and the G7 members will discuss the Ukraine war and its economic impact in the world. Bree Jackson has details on talks from Washington. Put more money towards smart water technology as well as infrastructures to attack our Western water crisis. So the bill introduced by Arizona Representative Ruben Gallego seeking to provide $50 million in EPA funding and grants for community water systems. The Pima County Sheriff's Department needs your help finding a man accused of exposing himself at local parks more than once. And News 4 Tucson's Angelique Lizardi joining us live from the newsroom with a description of this individual. Angelique. I have to say it was very rainy yesterday, and I feel like that was a lot of rain for the month of March. May.
March would be a good rainfall event.
Where are
April
we?
would be a good rainfall event.
What day is this?
May. I mean, Monica,
May.
historic.
Yes.
Historic for the month of May. And what's great about this
70% of heart attacks happen at home, according to the CDC. And sadly, about half of those people don't get the help they need to survive. And that's why the American Heart Association says it is critical for everyone to know what to do in that sort of emergency, including children. Mandy Gaither has more.
It can happen.
For the past 5 years, and we continue to hear from customers of a local body shop who claim their car sat for months without any work done after the shop was paid thousands. Our chief investigative reporter, Chris Nylander, got a hold of the shop's owner to get some answers. Well, Uber is announcing some major changes that will be rolling out next week, and parents, you're going to want to listen up. News 4 Tucson's Eric Fink is live in Midtown with more on this new feature. Eric. Our community partners and local fire departments, of course, to teach the little ones the ABCs of water safety. So our campaign launch. Well, dozens of Arizona elementary school students received a very special surprise. A group of third-grade students found out they won't have to pay for college. This is all thanks to a generous donation from a local foundation. As Benton Bladen reports, the kids might be a little too young to understand what this really means for their future, but their parents certainly do. Where News 4 Tucson's Shay Sorensen shows us more on a beautiful 6.5-mile hike. Take a look.
This week we are hitting the trails in the Tucson mountains because it's easy to get to and it's only a 20-minute drive.
What parts of town should they avoid possibly?
First and foremost, I think Tucson we're going to be in the clear. But if you're west, if you're north of the city of Tucson, those look to be the sort of, I don't want to say problem spots because a lot of us are dry right now, but those are the potentially.
Alert, a slew of new housing data showing some promising signs. We're talking about mortgage rates, which rose sharply last year amid the Fed's efforts to tackle inflation. Well, now they are finally stabilizing and below 6.5%. So new single-family home construction and builder confidence were up in April. And Karen Caifa tells us what this means for home buyers and sellers. There are dozens of streaming services these days, and it seems like wanting to watch your favorite film always comes with a price. News 4 Tucson's tech contributor Quincy Hobbs will tell us where we can watch some of those movies for free. Always Quincy. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Don't go away. News 4 Tucson at 5 o'clock starts right now.